Babe, is it the right place? Did you really drop it here?
Well, I can't see anything.
How did you even drop your phone here? Clancy.
Finally, Puko ran out here. But Puko, can you find it, Opa?
Wait, I'm making a call to your phone.
Ah, there is it.
Fuck, it's so nasty. Do I have to do this?
Come on, check it out.
What? Wait a minute, babe. What's that?
It's gross.
That's hilarious. Aren't that from X? Why the heck is that thing here? What is strange, dog?
Stop talking. Just get my phone off there, Opa.
Yeah, shit, okay. What?
Puku, what should we eat when we are home?
Uh, no.
Huh? What's taking so long? Opa, come on. Huh? Opa? Are you okay? Come on, Opa, you are scaring me.
Babe, what happened to me?
This exhalation thing is my god. These are growing. What the heck? These are so sticky.
Kill me!
This guy is bored on the bus. Today is his first school trip and also his first time in the city of Seoul. Even though he's been sitting for over 2 hours, he doesn't feel uncomfortable because sitting across from him is So-yeon, the girl he likes. As usual, So-yeon is very popular and he's extremely quiet, so he decides he'll do everything he can to talk to her during this trip. His name is Young-woo, and sitting next to him is his best friend, Kim Joo-byung. The latter asks why his face is so red, but he doesn't make a big deal out of it and changes the subject, explaining that today is the new Oki release, showing just how much of a nerd he is and how, in his opinion, he shouldn't be wasting time on this silly school trip. The conversation is interrupted by Jae Neng, a classmate who loves making blogs and videos for her YouTube channel. She's very outgoing and starts shouting at everyone to get them into the video, introducing them as students from Class 3 of Chung'ang Middle School. After a while, they arrive in the city of Seoul, more specifically in Gwanghwamun. Jae Neng starts recording and introducing her classmates and their teacher. Like a true blogger, she films at all times and in any place. In the distance, Young-woo can be seen struggling to get closer to the others, his shyness painfully obvious. He wonders what would happen if he also started a blog. Would So-young pay attention to him? Would she talk to him? While he's lost in thought, his friend Kim Joo interrupts him, teasing him. "You don't want to do something that childish, do you?" Young-woo shouts that he doesn't and asks if he would do it. Kim Joo replies that never, that he likes being the way he is, and that no matter how famous someone becomes, if they're introverted, they'll always be rejected. However, he quickly changes the subject to talk about something he considers truly serious. Yuki's live performance from Princess 27 and how amazing her interpretation was, one of the best on the planet. From afar, Young-woo watches So-yeon as she's being interviewed by Jae-nang. In the recording, So-yeon says it's her first time in Seoul and that ever since she was a child, she dreamed of being in the big city. Suddenly, Young-woo locks eyes with her and immediately gets embarrassed. Lost in his thoughts, he wonders if she really saw him or if it was too obvious that he likes her. Typical introvert worries. At that moment, Kang Ji-hoon appears, proclaiming himself the leader and the most handsome guy in Class 3, with smooth talking skills and overwhelming confidence. Young-woo envies him. He wishes he could express himself like that. Everything is interrupted when Jae-nang rushes over and starts interviewing them. Kim Ju tries to get into the blog, but the YouTuber avoids him in epic fashion and goes straight to Young-woo. Nervous, he says his name and the class he belongs to, but halfway through the interview, his attention completely shifts to So-yeon, totally forgetting about the recording. His only thought is being close to her. The trip was turning out to be amazing. Everyone was having fun and taking selfies. Suddenly, a group of pigeons landed near the spot where they were taking photos. One classmate got scared and even cursed at them. Young-woo stayed behind watching them and noticed how one of them headed toward a sewer where there were strange bubble-like shapes. The bird, thinking it was food, started pecking at them, but within seconds they trapped it and sucked it in. In disbelief, Young-woo wondered what the hell that was. However, his uncertainty didn't last long. Kang Ji-hoon showed up to ask him for a favor, an important one, and the two of them headed elsewhere. While inside the sewer, the pigeon was completely swallowed and absorbed by those bubbles. Class 3 arrives at the hotel where they'll be spending the night. The teacher orders them to stay at the entrance while she takes care of some paperwork, leaving supervision in the hands of the class leader, Kang. Jae-nang doesn't waste a second and starts recording everything and everyone, even a classmate who was studying during the trip. However, she soon shifts her focus to a poor, lonely soul in the distance. Yes, Young-woo. He was checking the group chat, where they shared photos and a few messages, when he noticed something strange about So-yeon. He opened her profile and realized she had changed her picture. At that exact moment, Jae-nang shows up, asking what he's doing and who the girl in the photo is. Young-woo tries to hide it and denies everything, saying he wasn't doing anything. She keeps pushing over and over, but he insists he was just checking the group chat. Jae-nang doesn't believe him and asks for his phone. Young-woo already knows that move and refuses to hand it over. Luckily for him, one of Jae-nang's friends appears and tells her there are some guys dancing and that she should go film them. Jae-nang leaves, but not before warning him that they'll talk about it later. Young-woo is left really shaken. He knows she's very popular and that rumors could spread through the entire school in no time. Suddenly, Kang shows up and gives him a small scare, saying he'd been looking for him to ask for a favor. Curious, Young-woo decides to follow him. Kang takes him to the bathroom and opens his backpack, revealing several bottles of alcohol. He explains that he's planning to throw a party at the hotel, but he needs someone to move the backpack. If they get caught, he won't say a word and will take all the blame, becoming a hero in the eyes of the class. Clearly, Young-woo refuses and decides to leave. In a last attempt, Kang tells him that everyone from the class will be at the party, including all the girls, and that if there's someone he wants to get close to, this is his chance. If he walks away, he'll regret it. Friends, the answer seems obvious. We don't believe Young-woo would sink that low just to talk to a girl. Shortly after, the teacher calls all of Class 3 to gather and head to their rooms, guided by administrative staff. Young-woo was calm, but Kim Ju suddenly startles him. He asks why he's so jumpy, since reacting like that isn't normal. Not making a big deal out of it, Kim Ju shows him a deck of cards, leaving Young-woo impressed. Not wanting to be outdone, Young-woo shows him what he has in his backpack. Kim Ju is completely shocked and yells, asking if he plans to drink all of that, drawing the attention of one of the staff members. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Young-woo gets caught. In the administration office, the teacher scolds him and asks if anyone else is involved. Young-woo says no. She lets him go but warns him that when they return to school, she'll call his parents to talk about what happened. As he leaves, Young-woo heads to one of the rooms and runs into Kang, who praises him, calling him the hero of the class and thanking him, since thanks to him the party can still happen. He also admits that he had backup bottles in case the plan failed. A bit calmer now, young Woo asks where everyone is. Kong replies that most of them are in their rooms because the teacher is keeping an eye on things and everything hasn't been set up yet. He suggests young Woo rest for a while and says he'll call him when everything is ready. Excited, young Woo agrees. Later that night, we see Kim Joo laughing while watching a video. In contrast, young Woo is worried. It's very late and Kong still hasn't messaged him. That annoys him, but what bothers him even more is knowing that So Yun is there with all those guys. He can't help but curse Kong. The next day, the whole class arrives at Namsan Tower to head to the boarding point. Our Chad, Kim Joo, explains that it'll take about 3 minutes to get from point A to point B. Since the distance is 600 meters, the speed will be around 3.2 meters per second, and the average incline angle is 77 degrees, which will help with speed and descent. What are we talking about? Yes, they'll be riding a cable car. Kim Joo asks young Woo if he's nervous since it's his first time. He says yes, but in reality, his thoughts are on whether So Yun hung out with a lot of guys the night before and on how much he hates Kong. He also wonders what excuses Kong will give him. He feels used, and his mind fills with insecurities to the point where he starts thinking it might be best not to get close to her during the trip. At that moment, our Chad shows up and casually mentions in front of everyone that young Woo has never ridden a cable car before, drawing the group's attention, especially So Yun's, who says it's her first time too. Another classmate joins the conversation and asks about what happened the night before, mentioning that they checked his belongings and figured it must have been alcohol. So Yun is surprised and comments on how cool she thought it was. Young Woo just nods and forces a smile, trying to hide it. Once inside the cable car, everything seems to get better. Young Woo feels more confident, like he can do anything, maybe even become friends with So Yun. But suddenly, one of the girls receives a national emergency alert. A new virus has appeared and is spreading throughout Seoul. At that moment, a pigeon crashes into the cable car, scaring everyone. The bird slowly falls away, leaving a trail of bubbles on the glass, and they all watch as those bubbles grow larger and larger. No one understood what was happening. Most of them thought it was just a sick pigeon, and that those things looked like some kind of eggs inside its body. However, young Woo realized something disturbing. Those eggs had pierced through the reinforced glass of the cable car, and one of them had actually made it inside. Panic took over everyone. They backed away in fear and began pushing each other. In the middle of the chaos, Young Woo stepped on So Yun's foot. Flustered, he immediately apologized. She didn't make a big deal out of it, but Young Woo was losing his mind, not knowing what to say or how to act. Amid the disorder, the teacher shouted for them to start moving, saying they were crushing her and that they were already about to reach the end of the ride. At that moment, one of the classmates approached to examine the thing and concluded that it looked like some kind of frog egg, though extremely strange. Finally, the cable car reached its destination, and a worker apologized for the inconvenience. Several students got off with extreme caution, since the thing was repulsive to them. Some even refused to get out, which caused a few to remain inside. Young Woo took advantage of the moment to try to talk to So Yun, convinced this might be his only chance. He tried and failed miserably, making a bit of a fool of himself. Even so, he gathered his courage and asked her if she wanted to go with him to the lookout. Just then, they heard a classmate scream. When they looked over, they saw she had tripped and that one of those strange frog eggs was on her knee. Her friends didn't think much of it and even mocked her for falling. However, one of the classmates noticed that something on her knee was starting to grow. The girl panicked, began screaming, and started pushing everyone around her. Another classmate who was nearby also got that substance on her face, and when they tried to help her, they realized she was covered in it as well. One of the supervisors approached to ask if she was okay. Desperate, the girl screamed for help, begging them to save her. When the supervisor grabbed her hand, he was also infected by that substance, losing control and beginning to scream the same way. The other students, seeing the scene, ran back inside the cable car and shut the doors. From inside, other students asked what was going on and why the doors had been closed. Jae Nang angrily protested, demanding to know why they had done that when Gyeul was still outside, screaming for help. She tried to open the door, but the others stopped her, saying that those eggs had burst out of her body like she was a monster. Young Woo, stunned by what he was seeing, stood there watching Gyeul and saw how she had now turned into a deformed creature that kept begging for help. Meanwhile, the teacher was talking with a supervisor as they headed toward the entrance of the lookout. The conversation is interrupted by the screams of a large crowd. Amid the chaos, the teacher manages to spot a student lying on the ground. She rushes over to help her, but when she lifts her face, she notices it is completely deformed. In that instant, that substance attacks the teacher as well, and she becomes affected. We return to the cable car. All the students are terrified. They don't understand what's happening and huddle together to feel safer. Many wonder what's going on, as their classmate now looks like something completely different from what she was before. One of the boys watches her and, overwhelmed by fear, suddenly backs away, pushing the group into a corner of the cable car. Young-woo is also extremely scared. He can't understand why his friend has turned into something so disturbing. His thoughts are interrupted by So-yeon, who is trembling with fear. Suddenly, a notification sounds, startling everyone. It reports the appearance of an unknown virus that is spreading throughout Seoul. On the news, they confirmed that a large part of the city is already affected by this virus. One of the students comments that those frog-like eggs could be the source of everything. When they turn around, the group freezes upon seeing their classmate standing in front of the cable car door, triggering immediate panic. Many believed she was no longer alive. To make sure, one of the boys tells Young-woo to ask her if she's okay. He tries to refuse, but seeing the terror on So-yeon's face, he gathers his courage and agrees. He stands up and cautiously approaches, asking if she's all right. There's no response. Another classmate suggests he speak louder. Maybe she can't hear. Young-woo tries again, but at that moment, another emergency alert goes off, frightening everyone. When Young-woo silences the alarm and looks up, he comes face to face with Gaewol's eyes and understands, with a tight knot in his chest, that whatever is standing in front of him is no longer his friend. Suddenly, screams can be heard from below. A group of people is trying to escape the area. When they reach the top, they run into another infected person. The creature lunges at one of them without hesitation. The man struggles desperately to break free, but it soon becomes clear he can't. Someone in the group shouts that they need to help him, but Kim Joo replies in panic that it's insane to open the door with that thing outside. Another classmate confronts him, asking if they're really going to let someone right in front of them. At that moment, Young-woo realizes that those creatures are getting closer to the cable car and, overwhelmed by fear, decides to secure the door. One of the people outside reaches it and starts pounding on it, begging them to open it, desperately screaming for help. Everyone watches, powerless, as that thing pounces on him and swallows him. Suddenly, the monster turns its head to the right, and to everyone's misfortune, a group of tourists appears, trying to flee from other infected people. The creature reacts instantly and attacks them right in front of the students, who can only watch the scene in horror. Everyone starts trembling, struggling to believe that what they're experiencing is real. Jae Nang feels deeply guilty, convinced that those people could have been saved if they had helped them. However, one of her classmates scolds her, pointing out that if they had done that, everyone inside would have met the same fate, and that it was thanks to Young-woo, by closing the door, that someone managed to survive. One of the boys stands up and suggests opening the upper exit to escape, since the monster is gone, and it seems like the perfect opportunity. Another, in a more pessimistic tone, replies that it's impossible because the place is completely covered with those strange frog-like eggs. Meanwhile, Young-woo watches So-yeon's emotional state with concern. It's already the third time he's stared at her, and she, feeling uncomfortable, asks why he keeps looking at her so much. Nervously, he asks if she's okay. She replies coldly that she is, but that it's none of his business. Young-woo is taken aback. It's the first time So-yeon has spoken to him like that. Suddenly, a boy raises his voice and asks everyone to listen. He claims that going out is madness and that the best option is to stay inside and wait to be rescued, taking on the role of leader of the group. A classmate named Hannah disagrees and tells him it's all his fault, that if he hadn't stopped them, they'd already be safe. Dae-han gets angry and responds that that makes no sense, that she's still alive precisely because of that decision, and that if she wants to leave, she's free to do so whenever she wants. The argument escalates until Jae Nang yells at them to stop, saying it's enough already. Even Dae-han admits that the fight is pointless and that they won't get anywhere if they keep going like this. All of a sudden, something that sounds like a walkie-talkie goes off, alerting everyone. They hear a voice coming from the control room, saying they're searching for survivors. To the students' relief, the cable car starts moving again, heading back toward the boarding point. Calmer now, they begin discussing what they'll do next. Dae-han states that no matter what happens, he's getting out of that place one way or another. On the other hand, Jae-nang and So-yeon are worried about their classmates. Dae-han doesn't share that view. He believes this isn't the time to think about others, since they have no idea what's waiting for them outside. Abruptly, the cable car comes to a stop, causing panic. They try to communicate with the control room operator, but get no response. Even so, the cable car starts moving again. From inside, they see that the building is overrun by those strange creatures, and that several infected people are writhing on the ground, filling the students with indescribable fear. Finally, the cable car reaches the other side. After that sudden stop, several students are left sprawled on the floor. Little by little, they get back up and ask each other if they're okay. Suddenly, So-yeon stares at one of the cable car's walls and notices one of the infected starting to get closer, immediately warning the whole group. They watch in horror as a crack appears in the wall, and the creature slowly begins to force its way inside, sending panic through everyone. Desperate, they rush toward the door, trying to open it, but it doesn't give easily. Young-woo looks to the right and realizes the infected has already managed to partially enter the cable car. Pumped with adrenaline, they start kicking the door over and over until they finally manage to break it open. The moment it opens, everyone runs out, trying to get to safety. Amid the chaos, Young-woo sees So-yeon trip and fall behind. Without thinking, he stops, helps her up, and keeps going with her. After running down the stairs and reaching the first floor, Dae-han realizes there's no way out. The place is completely overrun by those creatures. Behind him, Kim-joo shows up asking why they've stopped, but when he takes in the scene, he freezes. Up above, So-yeon and Young-woo take shelter for a moment. She has a wound on her leg, and he, deeply worried, apologizes, asking if it was his fault. So-yeon tells him it wasn't, that it probably happened during their escape from the cable car, and thanks him for helping her. At that moment, they hear Kim-joo running up the stairs shouting, while Dae-han scolds him, telling him to keep quiet. Young-woo asks why they're coming back, and Kim-joo explains that there's no exit downstairs and that it's full of infected. After moving a bit farther, they reach the second floor, which for now seems like a relatively safe place. Some students call their loved ones for guidance, others check the news online, and one of them tries to identify possible exits from the building. Young-woo contacts his parents and gives them his location. When he's done, he turns his attention back to So-yeon, worried because her wound isn't getting any better. That moment is interrupted by Kim-joo, who asks if he has any spare change. Young-woo asks if he's okay, but Kim-joo breaks down in tears, saying it's impossible to be okay after everything they've been through. Regaining composure after something like that feels unreachable. Young-woo understands. Even he felt like he could die at any moment. Even so, he feels comforted by having helped So-yeon and by hearing her thank him. Looking back down the path they came from, Young-woo notices marks on the floor, traces that So-yeon had left while fleeing. He decides to follow them and suddenly finds himself face to face with one of the infected. It seems the creature had followed that trail to get there, and now Young-woo realizes there's no way out. The creature lunged at Young-woo, putting everyone on high alert. Panic broke out, and they started running in every direction. The infected attacked anything that moved, filling the air with tension and adrenaline. Kim-joo was in front and reached one of the doors first, along with Young-woo, who tried to close it. However, Dae-han shouted at him not to and managed to stop him. When they reached the next floor, Dae-han grabbed him by the collar and confronted him furiously, demanding an explanation for his decision, sparking a heated argument. The confrontation didn't last long, though, because they soon realized they were facing the cable car again. That's when they understood that all the floors and doors were connected, making it almost impossible to find a safe way out of the building. Suddenly, Hannah appears, but she's alone. When they ask her about the others, she falls silent, unsure of what to say. They then learn that So-yeon and Jae-nang were left behind on the second floor because they couldn't reach the door in time. Fortunately, they managed to hide. So-yeon, visibly frightened, asks what they should do. Jae-nang explains that the creatures seem to have poor eyesight and that the best option is to stay still until they move away. However, they're not safe yet. The infected have a highly developed sense of smell, and one of them detects So-yeon's wound. Meanwhile, the others head down to the second floor to look for those who are missing. That's when Yang Woo realizes the creature is right behind So Yan, just about to reach her. Without hesitation, he runs to draw the monster's attention and lure it away from her. Yang Woo runs with all his strength, narrowly dodging attacks almost miraculously as the creature chases him. He manages to climb the stairs and finally shut one of the doors to protect himself. Just as they had figured out earlier, the doors are connected, and he finds himself back inside the cable car. A bit calmer, he decides to go back. Along the way, he wonders what kind of madness he just pulled off, but concludes it doesn't matter as long as his friends are safe, especially So Yan. When he opens the door, he realizes there's no one left on that floor. He notices one of the windows is broken and, when he looks out, sees his classmates escaping. As they run, So Yan turns back toward the building and manages to see Yang Woo standing there, frozen and confused. Still, she decides to keep going and leaves with the others, leaving him completely alone.